We had to do the same thing. It's all right. We'll get it together at some point. Hi, everyone. I mean, you too, but
Hello.
Happy Happy Monday, LEC community. It is the day for LEC Live, so that's it's Monday. Yvonne and Lexi, how are you all?
Good.
If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
I'm Lexi, Operations Specialist at the LEC.
I'm Ivan Ramirez, Director of Digital Experience. And I'm doing good. I had a good weekend. Spent a lot of time outside in the community. We went to the Mighty Roads. Mighty Roads is they have an art gallery, and every year they do a parade for Dia de Muertos. So that's where I was this weekend. And also the Nelson Atkins. They had every year they also have a big exhibition in their atrium. So that was nice to go see.
I need to be more out there.
Oh, this is just it was nice. The weather was
I didn't know
nice.
about either one of those things. I'm in a under a rock.
Yeah.
I've been to the Nelson before for their exhibit before, like a previous year. It's pretty nice. They had like a tree that time I went, and you could like write someone's name down that like had passed away, and then it was like a big ofrenda thing that people were writing on. It was really nice.
This year's was dedicated to all the lives that were lost due to COVID. So it was nice. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's sad. That's cool though. Edgar and I got the opportunity to go to the State of Black Kansas City. The Urban League Kansas City have published a report about Black Americans in Kansas City and how like the state of them, right? So health, economics, education, all those things. And the LEC is actually named in the book because of our report and about our report about teacher diversity and the lack thereof. So Edgar and I got the opportunity to go to the presentation and to get a book. I wish I would have brought my book up here, but yes. So check out the Urban League of Kansas City. They're doing great work. And you'll see the Latinx Education Collaborative named in there. So
that's dope.
Yeah, it was fun. It was exciting. Yeah, I left my book downstairs. That makes me sad, but
next time.
Well, we are wrapping up our last major event of Evolucion just to start up our next major event, the Latinx Educator Awards. If you haven't yet, get on it. Nominate your favorite Latinx educator so that they could be recognized and perhaps win the most coveted award of Latinx Educator of the Year. Any thoughts? Or, I mean, in past years, we've done really great things. Last year was virtual. This year it's going to be hybrid. What are y'all's thoughts? You excited?
No, I'm excited. This is a good way to end the year. We have, it's 4 categories. I don't have them memorized yet, but it's Educator of the Year, Aspiring Educator, Prospective Educator. I believe there's a volunteer.
Yep, volunteer, and then administrator.
And anybody can nominate your teachers, nominate your colleagues. We want to highlight Latinx educators and the work that they're doing in their buildings.
Yes, so bit.ly/Latinx Awards or fancy QR code that you can, does it work? I mean,
let's try.
But I'm about to try it. It sure does. Look at that.
Wow. Ooh.
I know.
Fancy.
So there's no excuse. Anybody can nominate using the QR code or the bit.ly.
Or the bit.ly. Yep. And of course, you receive our newsletters. There, the link is there. On our social media, the link is there. So, like I said, we all have at least a Latinx educator that we can nominate and honor. Head over to our nomination form. That's coming up. This is so cute.
Aw.
I
That
love
beard.
your hoops. You have always have your hoops and your eyeliner. Yes.
Just in case LEC Live can't see, my eyeliner. Edgar and I, our virtual selves, are going to be participating in the National Council on Teacher Quality live Twitter chat on Wednesday. And we're going to be an amazing company. We're going to be co-hosting with Education for Excellence, Center of Black Education, New America, and Teach Plus. So head over to Twitter for from noon to 1 on Wednesday, and check out Edgar and I's responses to questions about teacher diversity. Yvonne, you created these. What is it? Memoji? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, it's simple. It's the emojis. Yeah. I think we should create one for each one of us.
That's fun. These are cute.
Lexi, do you have one?
I think I do, but it's been a while, so she looks a little different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what's next.
Edgar, I feel like his hair looks like Amado's hair.
Yeah.
Amado with a beard, a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, so join us on Wednesday. We also we have been outside a little bit more recently, which is really exciting. The top picture, Yvonne, tell us about what you and Edgar got to go do.
Yes, we went to Turner Elementary. This is our first assembly after the pandemic. So this is the first assembly ever for some of them, really, because it was a K-5, fifth grade assembly. So we talked to them about becoming teachers. It's never too early to start putting that idea into them. And we talked about who their favorite teacher was. Go talk to your favorite teacher. See what they do as a teacher. So it was amazing. We talked Spanish. We talked about Hispanic Heritage Month and the importance of celebrating ourselves.
Nice. Yeah, that's exciting. That is definitely so much fun. That's my favorite part. Well, I got to do some things last week too. On the bottom left, you see our group through the Impact Academy at Guadalupe Centers. They have a design thinking program over at Guadalupe Centers here in Kansas City, Missouri. And high schoolers participate in client-based design thinking processes. And we were one that was chosen, and they pitched last week their solution. So there are our three. Alexa, hold on. The girls. I don't want to mess up their names because they're very, important names. So I'll get the names, but I'm on the spot now, and they did an amazing job. And they won an award out of the 15 projects. There were 5 awards, and they won most compelling research. So shout out to them. I'm in talks to hopefully get them in front of our community to chat about the project. And they all 3 now say they would like to be educators. So that was exciting. Yeah. I also got to go to the Girl Empowerment Breakfast with the Young Women on the Move, which was really exciting and really good just to be in community with women and girls who are on the move. It's a nonprofit that links up girls with mentors and leads them through their education and post-secondary and all that stuff. So that was really fun. Also last week, so that's one of the pictures is from the Empowerment Breakfast, but I also got the opportunity to talk to Paseo High School students last week, kind of similarly to Edgar's chat, but more specifically about identity and the Latino identity and how we should strive for Latino belonging in school. So it was really exciting to see my grandparents and my parents up on the big screen, and talking about how our journeys to being American and being American citizens and how that impacts our education and our careers. So that was really, really fun.
No, something important. I don't know. I think you said it, but when we show up to a place, we don't show up alone. Our ancestors are with us and are behind us. Because you talked a little bit about our roots, our grandparents, everybody that has come before us that allowed us to have the titles that we have now. Yeah, that was really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And that applies to all of us, right? Like not just people, you know, children of immigrants, and right, we all have ancestors who are, their struggles, their sacrifices, and their work lend to who we are today. So it's always fun talking to high schoolers because they're they they're more like, you know, I don't really care about this type. So you got to kind of hype them up a little bit. The elementary schoolers, I'm also an elementary school teacher, elementary, middle. So high school, I'm a little intimidated. I'm like, you all hate me. So that was fun. Last week, we had another edition of Ask an Educator Rewind. We got to rewatch Julia Linkis's interview, Ask an Educator interview. And that was awesome. It's been a little while, so it was good to kind of refresh on Julia's story. Be on the lookout for our Ask an Educator for this week and for our rewinds. They're pretty fun. Evolucion wrapped up. And if you attended, heads up that you will be receiving a gift from us very, very soon. We are in the final stages of wrapping up Evolucion, looking through all the feedback, and preparing for the 5th annual Evolucion next year. What did y'all think about Evolucion this year?
It's always nice being there. I do miss being in community in person, so I'm excited what next year will look like. But I was glad that we got to see each other virtually. The performances, in the breakout sessions, the keynotes were amazing. It's always nice to hear from Dr. Juan Andrade. I'm getting more into Dr. Mercado, reading more about her, see who she is. I did not know her before, so I admit that. But she's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I think that's one of the cool things of Evolucion is that you get to know new people and new names and, you know, get exposed to people around the country, right? Because since we're virtual. Sorry, Lexi, you're getting ready to say something.
No, I was just gonna make a different comment. I was trying to cut you off. Sorry. I was just gonna say, like, especially these students right here. Like, I know that Daniel, he was doing that breakout, like he was monitoring that breakout. He came back and he was like, that was so awesome. And we were like talking about it because he was talking about how cool it was. So I don't think that I definitely didn't get a chance to see that one because I was in a different one, which was also amazing with Eva. And she was talking about like the restrictions that they put on women and, you know, in the world and all types of things. It was very powerful. It was a very powerful breakout. So I imagine all of them were, but specifically those were ones that day that we were talking about for sure.
Yeah, we got some feedback recently about how it doesn't feel like a conference, right? And the person said, maybe you should name it a gathering instead of a conference. I said, you're right. We definitely aren't the like lanyard agenda, go from room to room type of conference, right? It's like getting in touch with your ancestors, with your why, with your vision, and revisioning if needed, you know. So it's always an amazing event every year. I look forward to next year. There are words that it's going to be hybrid. So some in person and some virtual. So be on the lookout for that, y'all. Our values have been released. We're actually revamping and relooking at how we do the work that we do. And so these 5 values, no matter what we do, are going to lead what we do. So yeah, be on the lookout for that wording to kind of be in the mix a little bit more. Any thoughts, y'all, about our new values?
No, I was just going to say they also tie to our Latinx Educator Awards. That's one of the, I wasn't say requirements. What am I trying to say?
Components?
Components, yeah.
Of the nomination form, yeah.
Yep. Next.
Yes, I love it. we're doing a new thing with Clifton Strengths. You all, if you've been an LEC member for a little while, you know we offer Clifton Strengths coaching and to identify your strengths. Yvonne, tell us about kind of this new way we're going to talk about Clifton Strengths Finder.
So every week we'll be highlighting a different strength. So if this is your strength, if you want to know more about it, put it in the comments. We're like, hey, I have this strength and this is how I work with it, or I'm working on strengthening this particular strength. For this week, we have harmony. So today we're highlighting harmony. That is one of my strengths also. But yeah, people with the harmony strength are exceptionally talented, and they look for consensus. They also do not enjoy conflict. So rather they seek areas of agreement within the team, within ideas. So yeah, that is harmony. Anybody else has harmony as their strength?
I do not. But I think also what I read about harmony real quick was that they are more aware of the conflict. So like you'd probably feel it more. I feel like a part of me being self-aware is maybe sometimes I don't feel the conflict. Like I don't feel that there is a conflict there. Like I thought we were just talking, like type of thing. Like, so I could see where maybe that wasn't a strength of mine, but definitely something that like I could be more aware of.
Oh, that's interesting. That's why you need people like us around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about these coaching sessions is that you see what your strengths are, maybe which ones aren't of your teammates. I also love Clifton Strengths. It puts all the strengths into 4 categories. So there's executing. I'm like, I know that sounds wrong. Executing. Thank you. Influencing, relationship building, and strategic thinking. So all 34 fit under one of those. And harmony is, of course, under the relationship building domain. And it is one of my strengths, which I was actually, that's my number 5. And I was surprised about that one because I actually don't mind conflict. But Noemi helps me kind of receive that or see in a different way that harmony is like, I see conflict as being a healthy part of harmony, right? Like we have to confront each other and like talk through our problems in order to move forward in a harmonious way. So there's also different ways to look at the strengths and different ways that we use them, right? When I first saw harmony, I was like, that just means you like want everybody to get along.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. And there's also another component or other components to them too. So
yeah.
Thank you, Yvonne. Yeah, we'll see what next week is.
We'll see what next week is.
Mm-hmm. And if you haven't yet, we have our virtual care packages. Just a small token of our appreciation for all the hard work that you do. The education field is an amazing field, an amazing career, but we also know that it's important to take time for yourself. So check out our virtual care packages. And yeah. What else? Yvonne?
I think we're good. I think that's all we have for this week. But here's our social media. I'm working on putting all of our videos, LEC Live, our Ask an Educator, on all our platforms. So yeah, they will be there for you to go back and enjoy them.
Okay, I have a question about TikTok because I know TikTok has been a recurring theme. I looked for it on TikTok. Are we on TikTok officially already?
No.
Oh, we're not already. Okay. Because I looked for it and I was like, I can't find it. But
no, not yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting for us. Yeah, we'll make one eventually. Soon.
Okay. On it. Well, Lexi, Yvonne already said that I will be dancing. Like that will be part of being on TikTok. So
yes.
I mean, start to mentally prepare yourself that you will probably be dancing. And
that's not happening. No. I'm down. Let's do some little TikTok moves together.
Yeah, TikTok challenges, all that. That's so much fun. And it's a good way, a lot of what we talk about is are difficult topics, right? Latino belonging in schools and dropout rates and all of that stuff. And so having a little bit of fun is important to us as well.
But
Well,
TikTok is so educational too. Like
yes.
you can literally like if you just look up like keywords of something you're trying to like explore, it'll bring up like people are on there like preaching like whole like lectures on there. So yes, that's all I want to say.
Well, that's why I haven't been active on it, because I'm afraid I'm going to get into the rabbit hole of TikTok. And
Yes.
it's going to be a time waster for me, which you're right. Like in some ways you'll be learning, but then in other ways I'm like, I definitely have enough on my to-do list than to learn how to make birdhouses or something, you know, like.
Are you still off social media or are you back? Or you
I'm
deleted?
still off.
Uh-huh.
I'm still off. I'm just taking a break. You know, I got a lot. Amado's birthday was the 2 weeks ago now. And, you know, just a lot going on. A social media break is good every once in a while.
That is good to disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take a breather.
Yep. Well, Ivan, Lexi, have a good week. LEC community, have a good week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
We're sitting there like in the arena in Las Vegas.
When I started this LEC community,